Yo, YouTube, man, what is good, man? It's your boy Big Grizz, man, and we are back with a special type of reaction today. Now, last week, I believe, was it last week or the week before last, I got with my friends and we reacted to Demi Lovato, and apparently y'all guys loved it. It went crazy. We're at 6K right now. We hit that in 6 days within me dropping it. Fastest viewed video that I've ever did. You know, top viewed, one of my toppest viewed videos actually as well too. So I want to thank y'all for that, and the feedback that I've been getting from y'all Demi Lovato fans is nothing but love. I want to thank every single one of y'all, and I got a treat for y'all, man. I told y'all that I wanted to wait till those other videos did some numbers, but it was just a trick, man. So for today, what I got for y'all, I got the Demi Lovato Dancing with the Devil Season 1 Episode 1 Losing Control GRIZZLY reaction. Yes, I will be reacting to the documentary. Now, I don't know how frequently we will be doing this because each episode is like 22 minutes or so, but I will try, you know, with what I can. There might be like 2 parts. I might have to break it down just because, you know, I edit these videos on my phone. Even though we record them on the camera, you know, I edit them on my phone, and my phone only got but so much space, so I might have to make 2 parts. But we're about to get into the first part of this documentary. Before we do, follow me on Instagram and Twitter, GRIZZLY Reacts. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. On the road to 5K subs, so make sure you guys subscribe, hit that notification bell, subscribe to the sneaker channel, GRIZZLY Sneaks. On the road to 100 subscribers, and the gaming channel, GRIZZLY Gaming. Without further ado, Demi Lovato, Dancing with the Devil, Season 1, Episode 1, GRIZZLY reaction. Let's get it. Let's go. This episode continues. Yeah, man. Let's go. Rock in Rio 2018. 2018, the documentary. Oh, so this was that. Look at that crowd, man. That crowd look crazy. She was rocking those shows, boy. Could we just say, like, the work that goes into an art, like being an artist, like kids be waking up being like, oh, I want to be a rapper or singer. I don't think they knows the work. Like, it's really work. Like, I feel like in this world, no matter what you do, you're gonna have to work. Like, if you're a rapper, you're gonna have to do rehearsals, you're gonna have to make songs, you're gonna have to do collabs, you're gonna have to do commercials. Like, it's a lot. It's a job. Like, bro, it looks like she was... Bro, that on a person could be a lot, man. That's why I be feeling for these rappers and singers when they go through stuff. Because it's like, you got the whole world watching you, judging your every freaking movement, every decision you make, while trying to please your audience, trying to please the label. It's a lot, bro. Shout out to the rappers and singers, man. My heart goes out to y'all, because y'all be going through it. But we go through it too, because we broke. Y'all rich.
I think that was the best show you have ever done. And you know what? It's just only going to get better from here.
1 month, bro. She got told that 1 month before her overdose, so obviously that really didn't hold no weight, or she was already... Hold on. After Demi was hospitalized on July 2018, the documentary was permanently shelved, okay? Demi stepped away from the spotlight until now.
It's just a little red wine.
Oh, we reacted to the whole thing, guys. What y'all think? I'm really excited for this channel. Hopefully you guys are too, man. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Dem. Who are these people?
So we can just try to be quiet, everybody? Alright.
I've had so much to say over the past 2 years of like wanting to set the record straight about what it was that happened. FYI, I'm just gonna say it all, and then if we like don't want to use any of it, we can take it out. So you just want to know everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
You don't want the true story from me.
I can't believe y'all are doing this. This is lit, but okay.
It's tough because we shot an entire documentary that will never see the light of day. It was before she OD'd.
This tour has been fun every show.
The best way to describe it is that she's just like tuned in. She's here, she's present.
Look at that. She was doing killing it.
That documentary, I was allowing the camera to see the tip of the iceberg.
She said, hold on.
Your sword was out.
She said, I've been working 13 years straight of my life. I mean, shit, I've been working 24, so, I mean, not 24, that's a lie. I started, no, that's a lie. Okay, that's cap. That's cap, because 24 would be, I started out my mom with a job. I'd say, I also had my first job when I was 14. From 14 to 24, I've been working basically the same time she been doing this, which is crazy. That's crazy, man. Like, y'all have to think, Demi started as a Disney star, and then she turned into something, just a superstar from there. Like, Disney really makes stars. That's crazy. You want to be a star, just go to Disney, give them a little episode or a movie, next thing you know, pop, you there, man. That's crazy.
Absolutely a dream come true, obviously, professionally, but emotionally it was miserable.
You know, I wasn't showing them what I was doing behind closed doors.
That felt very disingenuous at the time to talk about prior to actually being on the other side of something. This is the first time where we're really telling the truth, you know, for her.
Anytime that you suppress a part of yourself, it's gonna, like, overflow at some point. And that's ultimately, like, what happened to me in a lot of areas of my life. And it was what led to my overdose, for sure.
There's a lot
And that's one thing I want to say too. When you're going through a lot and you just hide it and suppress it, and then you go through something else and you put that on top, and then you got something else, so you stack that on top, and you just keep stacking problems, burying them, eventually you're just going to bust, and you're just going to, you know, you're going to lash out like a pop that's been shooken up. You're going to pop, bro. You're going to burst, and you're going to just do crazy stuff, man. I'm not saying, yeah, you're going to find something and some way to cope with how you're feeling. And I feel like that's why, you know, yeah, me, when I'm that's why I smoke, you know what I'm saying? But I always said I was going to cross the line from other stuff. I've always said marijuana was enough. I don't need pills. I don't need all that other stuff. You know, marijuana is enough, and it doesn't, yeah. That's all I have to say.
No.
It was weird. It felt like it wasn't happening. It felt like it wasn't real.
It was certainly, it's touch and go there for a little bit.
She should be dead, like 100%.
Demi Lovato.
Demi Lovato.
Americana, Demi Lovato.
Superstar Demi Lovato.
TMZ reports that the singer was rushed to the hospital.
Law enforcement is stating that she overdosed.
The 25-year-old singer was transported from her
Hollywood Hills home this morning.
She was at
Paramedics
home.
reportedly found her unconscious.
Suffering what appeared to be a heroin overdose.
Clearly she knew she was using drugs, but we don't know if she knew exactly what she was taking.
After leaving her friend's birthday celebration, Demi texted her drug dealer, who she's been using since April, to bring her oxycodone. It is being reported that the oxycodone was also laced with fentanyl.
The more the details come out about this, the more it becomes really
See, like, that's why See, that's also why I just stay with, honestly, marijuana. See, with marijuana, you can get laced too, but that right there that's so sad, bro. And you think, when you have, like, I don't know, my speak, when you have these so-called dealers, like, at a certain point, you get from them so much, you build a relationship with them. So, you know, you start to trust them and everything. So she probably really thought, like, yeah, this is my dealer, but I'm Demi Lovato. He knows who I am. I trust him. And he took advantage of that and tried, bro, that's so messed up that there are people out here like that, you know, that just, you know, mess people up and they don't even be on them. Like, that's so sad. I'm so sorry that happened to you, Demi. That's fucked up for sure.
Obviously, she's really lucky to be alive.
Oh, yeah.
I crossed a line that I had never crossed in the world of addiction. It's interesting that it took me a quarantine to work on this trauma stuff. I have never really taken the time to dig deep and do the work on.
Oh yeah, damn.
Dude, when I turned around and saw my dad in those pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Something about, like, I saw him in rehearsal, it just wasn't the same.
Yeah.
We had an estranged relationship, so we weren't close, and growing up my whole life, I longed for that relationship with him, and then I resented him because he was an addict and an alcoholic and was abusive to my mom, and so I cut him out because I felt like, you know, it was causing more harm than good to have him in my life. His death was very complicated because we don't actually know the exact day that he died. All we know is that by the time he was...
That's something, I didn't mean to cut her out. That's something me and Demi both have in common. I actually lost my father as well, but I lost mine much, much younger, and it was to gun violence, unfortunately. So, wow, I did not know that about Demi as well. It's amazing hearing her story. I told y'all I wasn't trying to pause, but this is interesting, man. Y'all wanted my reaction. This is my reaction, man. This is crazy. We're only 6 minutes in, and we still got 22 minutes left. Wow.
was found, his body was too decomposed to have an open casket.
Ooh.
He had been laying there.
That was the same with my father.
Before anybody found him, and during that was Father's Day. So every summer now that rolls around, I spend it kind of thinking, was today the day that my dad died? Is it tomorrow? And then also knowing that by the time Father's Day rolls around, like, he was just laying there rotting. And that was the fear that I always...
Another thing that we have in common, my father did not have an open casket funeral. The bullets were so severe that there was no... Yeah, we had a viewing at the funeral, at the, what was it? You know, before the viewing, then the viewing one day, then you have the funeral the next. Like, I seen him at the viewing, but the funeral, they did not open up his casket because they literally had to sew pretty much some of him back together because the bullets had ripped him apart. So, yeah, I definitely can relate to that as well. And I'm one of the ones who really didn't know their father growing up. So imagine that. Yeah, I'm still dealing with that. So I can only imagine what she's dealing with that. So my heart goes out to you, Dim.
It's hard for him was that he would end up alone. And he did. He died alone.
Mental health is something that we all need to talk about, and we need to take the stigma away from it. 6 years ago, I was drinking vodka out of a Sprite bottle at 9 in the morning, throwing up in the car. And I just remember thinking, this is no longer cute, this is no longer fun. And I'm just like my dad.
I definitely think that she had some things that were underlying that
that she was trying to self-medicate, just like I was trying to do when I was taking Xanax. I was trying to self-medicate. You know, she was around for some of the abuse from my first husband. And sometimes I feel like that stayed with her for many years when I didn't know that she probably needed to work with a professional to work through some of that. Just like I didn't know they were causing issues in myself.
That's one thing as kids,
man. So bad when I hear stories of people saying, you know, my family member chose addiction over me, my family member chose alcohol over me, chose this over me. I know too much about addiction and mental illness to think that that's all there is to it.
I also felt a lot of guilt over the years because I've been such an advocate for mental health. Sometimes I have more money issues. I look in the mirror and I'm not going to see. Yet here was my father who had bipolar and schizophrenia, and then on top of that, the disease of addiction, you know, and I hadn't helped him the way that I would have helped other people, or the way that I had been preaching about. And that really ate up at me, but ultimately, like, I know that he was kind of too far gone at that point. He needed to realize that he needed help himself. Sobriety has to be your choice and no one else's. If it is someone else's choice for you, then it won't last. And so I tried to get him to get help, and I wasn't able to make that happen. He wasn't ready. If you look at my family history, my mom has dealt with substances and an eating disorder, so I didn't know any different. Then I was put in beauty pageants where it's extremely competitive and it's all about your
saw that at a young age, that
my
pressure.
My self-esteem was just completely damaged
from
those beauty pageants. I remember actually making a pact.
That's what I was saying, like, that's why I don't like that stuff, those pageants, and cause y'all make these little beautiful babies, these kids look like grown people, and they gotta have their own personality. Like, she's 4 years old. Why does she have to have a hobby already? And then these parents, y'all the parents put pressure on the kids, and then the kids just grow up miserable as hell, and then they end up doing some crazy stuff, and then the whole world's like, well, why are they doing this? That's why. Y'all gotta let these kids just be kids. Just let us be kids. Let us have fun. Don't put them in no pageants, no all that stuff, man. Just let a kid be a kid. Please.
With myself saying, if I don't win this pageant, I will never eat again.
See?
Then you put me in front of a camera and on stage, and it's just like,
she was on Barney?
To be super competitive.
What
and
the hell?
To be the best at everything I do.
Wait. I did not know, one, she was on Barney. I didn't know, two, that she had her own different show called Charlotte. Bro, this is crazy. I'd had no idea, like none at all. I had no idea. That is crazy. Hold on, I'm trying to, y'all gotta bear with me. I lost track, I think, of where I was at. Hold on. We gonna get it. I don't care. I'm keeping this part in here too, because I'm about to see. This is a headache.
And it's just like, of course I'm going to be super competitive and try to be the best at everything I do.
What?
There's
Demi, I had no idea.
That depend on you, and that you know that you're supporting these people's families and their next break. I've realized that I've spent more time trying to please other people the past several years of my life than I have really trying to make it what I want.
It wasn't until the last few years that I really fully realized the impact that eating disorders have had on her. We had to be very careful what we ate around her, which sounds insane, but maybe some of the control that she had with her last team was put in place to help her so she wouldn't relapse in her eating disorder, but it totally backfired. Like that, just the control and the restrictions.
So there was more to just the addiction. Like,
my team has consisted of assistants, a wellness coach, a dietitian, nutritionist, therapist. I've had all these people in and out of my life. I feel like decisions have been made for me more so than I've made decisions for myself.
I do feel like she had been in such a pressure cooker of control and trying to keep her well, and it had just eaten away at her.
There were times where I had to spend the night because she ate a cookie.
I felt like I was always walking on eggshells, no matter what. What I was eating, around who, what we had in our dressing room, what kind of food. It was very intense. Everyone around her had to be drug tested. You know, she wasn't allowed to hang out with anybody that wasn't sober completely.
There were times where I was just like, she's miserable. I'm just not feeling comfortable in my body right now because I've stopped being so strict with food so that I could get more peace with it, rather than living my life in a diet. I've put on a little weight, so I don't want to go on stage every night in clothes that are showy. A part of the problem is too the sketches that they draw. Everything looks good on a sketch because it's a 10-foot, 90-pound model with a 5-inch waist. There's just so much pressure as a female in the industry to look a certain way and to
I'll say that there is. There shouldn't be, but there is.
To look up to. That shit's really triggering. I started relapsing in my eating disorder. I was already relapsing in it with over-exercising and extreme dieting. And I also had people around me that were really policing my food intake and the things that I was eating. So I was miserable and I snapped.
I think if your life is set up to be focused on how you're not well, then you're not going to feel well. Whatever we're trying to control or afraid of will end up happening if that's our only focus.
The choice that she made was, I think it was for agency for herself, but also I think it was a major act of rebellion, where it's you're going to tell me what I can and can't do for 6+ years? Watch me.
It was hammered into her head. You have to be sober. You have to be this icon, this role model that my sister never claimed to want to be in the first place. I look at my family.
Nobody does. The audience just puts you in that spotlight.
I've been so open and
comes with fame, man.
I felt like I had to be this.
That's the price of fame right there, man. They put you where they want you.
And her music it saved my life. It's such a beautiful gift to be able to help people. At the same time, you become a martyr in a way that is so isolating, and I think it just gets to you.
I don't think she really understands, how much of an impact she has on her fans.
I think that to be the poster child of perfection and mental health and all these kind of things is such a dangerous, slippery slope.
6 years is a long time to be told that if you slip up, you're gonna die. And at some point, enough just becomes enough.
The legendary, iconic Demi. This is a special day. 6 years sober.
After the show, Demi relapsed with drugs and alcohol. Within 3 months, she would be fighting for her life.
I had a photo shoot, and I remember being at the photo shoot and just thinking to myself, I don't even know why I'm sober anymore. I am so miserable. I'm not happy. I have all this stuff that I'm dealing with I picked up a bottle of red wine that night, and it wasn't even 30 minutes before I called someone that I knew had drugs on them. I'm surprised I didn't OD that night. I ended up at a party. I just so happened to run into my old drug dealer from 6 years before. Like, the odds of that happening was crazy, and he, like, had a duffel bag, and I just went to town.
She went shopping.
Shopping spree. That night I did drugs that I'd never done before. I'd never done meth before. I tried meth. I mixed it with Molly, with Coke, weed.
Oh, no, Demi.
And, like, that alone.
Shit. Damn, girl.
So when she had texted in 2018 and was talking about deciding to drink again, it was like, set off the alarms. I remember driving back to her house, running to her side, and I was like expecting to walk in on her like, you know, face down, ass up, passed out on the floor, like she had had a drink the night before, so now the world was over. And she was kind of sitting in bed, very aware of what the decision that she'd made. And then she was drinking and fine, and, you know, until it wasn't fine.
She didn't really open up about what she did that night. We didn't really have necessarily the conversation of honesty that I wanted to start out with. I think in terms of her friends and family, the thing was is that we didn't really know about the drugs.
She can hide stuff really, really well.
It was only like 2 weeks before I was introduced to heroin and crack.
Oh, Demi! Why?
Using recreationally, and you can't do that with heroin before you become addicted to it.
Damn.
Are we talking about heroin? Are we doing that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, then I'll just tell you the real. I'll just give you the real.
There were so many red flags. I mean, we had done game night. She disappears from game night. Everyone's kind of looking at me like, Syra, where is she? And so I go upstairs and I find her in the bathroom, and she's got, you know, tinfoil, and she's smoking something. And so I walk over to her and I grab it, and I'm like, what the are you up to, bro? Like, this is not it. And she didn't even notice I was there, you know? And I was horrified and devastated. So I stayed there and just made sure she didn't, like, you know, kill herself. And the next day I just told her, I said, you need to go get help. I can't do this anymore.
It wasn't until I went on a trip to Bali a few weeks later that I realized I had become physically dependent on it. And it was on that trip that I actually wrote Sober.
Isn't that fucking ironic? Wow, that is a sad song. Make sure y'all check out my reaction to that.
I got no excuses for all of this advice. It wasn't my intention.
Oh my God.
That song hit, bro. That song is deep.
I went away, I went on tour to Europe. I stayed clean, kind of, like, wasn't doing drugs, but was drinking a lot.
She said, oh God, she's just feeling it.
Came back to LA.
She said,
more. I picked up where I left off, and I was very heavily using.
Was she high right there? One day before overdose. Look at her face. She just like she don't even.
I forgot the words.
No, she didn't. They thought that was funny, bro. That wasn't funny.
As a parent that you have.
She said, oh, fuck, I got the words in.
And you can give them advice when they're older.
She was on some
shit. You can certainly advise them when they ask you, but a lot of it you don't see because they don't live in the same house as you.
July 23rd, 2018, the night of
I went out to a friend's party, and none of my friends knew what I was using. So I kept it very hidden from everyone. That is one thing that I was very good at, was hiding the fact that I was addicted to crack and heroin.
Demi is very good at hiding what she needs to hide.
She's good at making you believe that she's okay.
I'm good at that too.
Hey, be careful.
You'll never know what's wrong with me. You'll never know. I could be going through the worst shit. You'll never know. Wow, me and Demi are so similar. It's crazy.
One of something,
Crazy.
they definitely find ways to get what they want.
I had told some friends, hey, I've been sober since I was 19, like I want to try this drinking, smoking thing, like I just want to see if I can handle it. And I've been stir crazy and I, want to see if I can do it. So to them, I wasn't doing these hard drugs. To them, I was just normal again. I met up with some friends. We went to several different bars. We came back to my house. And around 5:30 in the morning, I said I was going to bed. But the reality was that I called one of my dealers over.
Yep.
Paramedic up there, 65. What's the address of the emergency?
We just need to get some help.
You know what happened to her, okay? To be there, Shirley, stay with the patient. I'm going to remain on the line with you all the way until the paramedics arrive, okay?
Okay, we just need the one that's walking down, right?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to ask for help, man.